Welcome to Country Kickback, where you'll hear the latest music from performers you already know and discover new music and artists from around the world. If you have an artist you'd like us to chat with, reach out to the team at countrykickback.com, or you can watch our live videos and more by following us on social media and YouTube. Here is your host, Danny Shaw, with the latest from Country Kickback.
Hello, happy Wednesday. Have you guys been doing anything exciting this week? Any live music or new music that you've been listening to? Let us know in the comments. Hi, Paula. Hi, Kayleen. You guys, I always like to see which one of you get in first in the room. You're quicker than I am to log in. But yeah, thank you for joining us. Let us know as we're going in the comments where you're from and who you're listening to or what you've been listening to of late. We've got Jackson waiting to have a chat to us, so we're going to bring him into the room. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments, and we'll try to get through to all of them as we go. So we'll welcome him into the room. Hi.
Hey, how you going?
I'm good. How are you? Is this your first time?
It is.
Yeah. How are you feeling? You finally got music out. How are you feeling? Is it still?
It's great.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going really well. I've just been really busy with lots of interviews and just like trying to keep up with the content and on the phone to the publicist, Jules, all the time. So it's great.
Yes, Jules is in the room. She's saying hi.
Hey.
Hi, Jules. There's lots of people in the room already, so I'll try and get through all the comments as we go. I know we were saying just before we went live that when we have had someone, we like to just sort of get a bit of an idea about their story, their music story, and how you got to where you are today, and what part is it? Because I know you've been in the music for a long time with writing and all sorts of things, but tell us a little bit about your story and your journey to get here.
Okay, so I come from a musical family. I was put on stage, from around 4 years of age, and I grew up with my grandparents throwing huge parties in the backyard, and there'd be all my grandparents, their brothers and sisters, my dad, my aunties, uncles, and everyone on stage, playing country music. And then after that, I played sort of through high school, and it wasn't till probably my early 20s that I really started to realize that I could do this professionally.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely awesome. I guess this is from the music.
Is it? It's funny. I think we might have frozen for a second.
And then I've been playing.
You there? I froze for a second.
Sure, yeah.
I've got your back.
Okay.
We got your back. Sorry.
Sure.
So I was just about to ask, growing up in music and learning about music and then finally realizing you can do it for a career, is that something that you just hadn't thought of until that point, or what was
I think so. I just through high school, I love surfing so much that really took priority, and I still played music, but it wasn't really something that I thought of actually doing professionally.
Well, we're glad that you are, and there's lots of people popping in. Melly's there. She's saying go Jackson. Kayleen saying congratulations on your new music.
Thank you very much.
Lots of people popping in. As I was saying before, like you've grown up in music and had so many different experiences, and you've done a lot of writing, and a lot of people have released songs that you've been writing with. But this is like the first big song like in quite a long time for you, and it's. Is it just, did you deliberately put it off to this point, or what was your reasoning for just sort of releasing now?
I think it's a bit of a combination of things. Like one, I definitely have found my style now. It took me a little while to work out exactly, where my style fit. And, I have a lot of, over the years I've been playing a lot of coastal music, like Jack Johnson, Pete Murray, Donovan Frankenreiter influence.
Yeah.
But then also I love all types of country music as well. And I often listen to both. And this song, Melanie and I sat down, to write this song, and it really just fit perfectly in that exact genre or style laneway that I want to go.
Yeah. So it's time. It just happened. It worked out perfectly.
And also too, over the, since COVID we've been flat out, and I've been on the road touring and playing with Melanie, for a year and a half solid. So, and with all that also comes music videos and content, and all the videos that I've also done with Angus Gill and Hudson Rose and all that. So it just takes time, and there's only so many available hours in the day. But this time I prioritized what I need to do, and
and you've done it. It's interesting because one of the questions that I was going to ask you was, working with so many different artists, has that impacted on your sound and figuring out what path you want to take? And you kind of have just answered that you've found your sound. It must be quite hard switching into that other people's sort of sound and turning your part off. And
it is. I just think like, even for producing, like, good music is good music, and I think that my ear and the things that I hear for production, so I've actually put my influence into other people's music, as well as they've shaped mine.
Yeah, it's lovely. Now, there are heaps of people popping in to say hi, so I'll try and get to some of the comments as they're coming through. Kaz is saying hi, and there's Ryan has popped in. He's watching. Whereabouts in Australia are you watching from, Ryan? What state are you in? And Paula's in. So there's lots of people popping in. So if you have any questions, pop them in. If I've missed some, please pop them in again, because it does scroll pretty quickly and I might have missed some of them. So with releasing this one and having been on the road touring, what are your plans now that you've released this single? Are you going to do some touring for yourself? Are you going to have more music for the year? What are you thinking?
So my plan this year is I've got a lot of stuff coming up with Melanie as well. So and also too, I want this song to have its life. And I've already got another 2 songs that are ready to go. And the plan is just to keep writing. We're going to Nashville in a week, less than a week actually.
Right. Wow, that's must. I remember somebody told me you were looking at Nashville. I don't know who it was, but it seems like it was not that long ago. And it's wow.
Half of our friends are all over there, or they're heading over there. So it's going to be a great catch up.
And have you guys been together before to Nashville?
We haven't. No. We actually haven't traveled outside of Australia together, which is we're really looking forward to it. But every weekend or every second weekend, we're in the car or a plane going somewhere. Yeah,
and it's how good is that? Because we're just sort of saying, a year and a half that you've been on the road and actually having gigs and stuff. That's a really quite a long time for a lot of us. Haven't been out for that long with different states. How has that gone, getting back out there? And sort of, it's obviously changed your path, COVID and all that sort of thing. But has that been a hard thing, getting back into it?
It's definitely been a big step up from the gigs that I was doing, like sort of through COVID. I played a lot of bars and restaurants, over the years, and then touring with Melanie straight on the big stages. It was pretty eye-opening, but it was something that I just adapted to quite quickly, because I love performing, and the bigger the better.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes complete sense to me. Kayleen said she wanted to know, is there a duet on the horizon?
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. Now, when you head over to Nashville, what are your plans? Is it something, there's certain things that you guys are really wanting to get to do while you're there?
We are, yeah. So we both really want to go to Dollywood.
Yeah, me too.
Which would be really cool. And we mentioned it to our friends, Blake O'Connor and Sinead Burgess, and they're in for the road trip. So we're going to be packing the car and heading off to Dollywood at some point.
Is that far from Nashville?
I believe it's around 2 hours.
Oh, really? Because I've just always assumed it was just there. I don't know why. I don't know, but
no. So keep an eye out on the gram, and we'll be running amok at Dollywood.
Oh my gosh, please post. I've always wanted to go there. That is definitely on my bucket list. So when you're over there, you're planning on doing writing, and have you got any shows that you've booked?
So for myself, I haven't just yet. I'm just going to be focusing on writing, and if there's some pop-ups or open mics, I'm going to jump up and do those. But I've got a few things to do with Mel, and that's my focus for this trip and writing.
Yeah. That's exciting. Kayleen has just popped a question that I did see it pop up before. What is it? What type of country music would you consider best suits you? We kind of touched a little bit on that before.
Yeah, like my influences, for production wise, I love Sam Hunt, Jordan Davis. It's kind of like that modern pop country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting when I was listening to your song, because I like to not know a lot of those stories until I listen to see what I hear in a song and what I think maybe might have influenced your style. It's really interesting to hear that, because I can hear different artists coming through with this song. Now, I know you've got your guitar sitting there. Before we talk about the single, would you like to play a song for us?
Sure, I can do that for you.
Well, I will give you the room, and I will come back, and then we can learn all about it. This one and the next few.
We never took that trip or felt that summer sang. Your little red bikini didn't get to leave a tan. No sipping margaritas, no kissing on that beach. Somehow we always let it get out of reach. Yeah, we could blame the weather or a hard day at work, or feeling way down by the state of the world. We could wallow in our pity, rust in the ruins, or stop making excuses and just start doing things. It's time, think it's time we get around to it. We said we'd get away and leave the week behind. Check into a room and check out for a night. No sunset jacuzzi, no California king. We wound up way too tired to do a damn thing. Yeah, we could blame the weather or a hard day at work, or feeling way down by the state of the world. We could wallow in our pity and rust in the rooms, or stop making excuses and just start doing things. It's time, think it's time we get around to it. Yeah, think it's time, think it's time we get around to it. Someday we'll regret it, not spending the minutes and filling those days with the things we want in it. We just keep wasting time while we got time to waste. Oh, but one of these days we're gonna wish that we did and blame the weather for a hard day at work, or feeling way down by the state of the world. Wallowing our pity and rust in the ruins. We should stop making excuses and just start doing things. It's time, think it's time we get around to it. Yeah, think it's time, think it's time we get around to it. Round, 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 think it's time, think it's time we get around to it. Get around, think it's time, think it's time we get around to it.
I love that. Thank you. So I love acoustic, and I love that song acoustic. That is
Thank you.
awesome. Yeah. And lots of people popping in saying catchy song and a nice laid back sound. I agree. It made me want to have a beer and just sit back and chill listening to music.
Yeah, pina colada, I reckon.
Oh, yes. Crowd goes wild.
Hot tip, I have the best pina colada recipe that's ever known.
Okay.
I'll call it. So next time I'll see you, I'll make one.
We need to do that, definitely. So next week you're heading to Nashville. Do you have shows leading up to that, or do you actually get the weekend to pack?
Oh no, I have 3 music videos to finish making, including my own. I have got I've got a photo shoot to finish for Ringers Western. and what else? And I've got to pack and practice as well.
Wow. Are you full-time music now?
So yeah, I'm full-time music and full-time, videographer, photographer as well.
But so you're still down mostly in that music section.
All creative music, yeah.
Yeah. When you have to sit down and just make a choice of which one you want to do, is there one that you have a favorite? Everybody asks me when artists have different things, so I'm getting in because I know that question's coming.
Yeah, I somehow can. I'm a very good multitasker. I can do a lot of things, but I would definitely prefer to play my guitar over anything else.
Yeah. Okay. That's a fair comment. I reckon a lot of artists probably would have similar answers, actually, because sometimes you just need to sit down and play. But so you're telling me you have 2 singles ready to go, and you're heading to Nashville, obviously, to hopefully write more and get some more things ready. Does this mean that it's going to be a continual thing for you? You're going to keep releasing pretty regularly, and now that you're out doing it, this is going to keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. This is it. It's taken me so long to get to this point, and I've had a lot of my good friends and Melanie as well, like helping me, show me what I need to do to actually, do it properly.
Yep. And that's the thing. You've had so many influences for such a long time. Kaz wants to know: is there an album coming? It sounds like you're working towards it eventually.
Yeah, probably there'll be an EP next year.
Yeah, okay. And the other question I had was the artwork. Was this your idea? Because that's exactly when you look at that artwork and the song and you listen to it, it actually just fits perfectly.
Yes, the whole concept is all my idea, and that this is exactly what I see. And if you look at the canvas on Spotify, it's similar kind of visuals.
Yeah. Actually, while we're on Spotify, if you guys at the end scroll back to the top of the comments, I have put your Spotify link up there for everyone to jump on and make sure you hit is it following for Spotify? It is following on Spotify, isn't it?
Yes, following, saving. You can save the songs.
Yeah. Pop
There's
it in
a comment
your playlist.
there.
There is. Pop it in your
Melanie
playlist.
and I go to Memphis.
Oh, hang
Come
on.
away with a Memphis t-shirt.
Oh.
Well, Melanie actually lost her t-shirt, so we actually need a new one.
How did she lose a t-shirt?
I know she lost the original Memphis t-shirt. Yeah. She's got no idea. We've been trying to track one down now for a couple of years. So
oh my gosh,
we'll see.
Yeah, and awesome to hear. I'd love to hear have an EP in my CD collection. Absolutely, and that a lot of my viewers, they're just like me, we love that hands-on copy, and you can actually read over it. Jules said, follow and add to your personal playlist. Absolutely, everyone, make sure you jump on and do that. At least I'm not. You guys, the comments are coming in so quickly. She's not a Spotify person, but she's looking forward to the EP.
Apple, tough on Apple too.
Yeah, it's sounding awesome. It did sound awesome. I loved it. It was fantastic. So, being that you do videos for everybody else and you do all this sort of stuff, does that mean burning in the back of your head, you've got all these ideas that you want to do for yourself?
I have so many ideas. Many ideas. It's the photography and videography thing came out of necessity. I could see that the whole industry and market was adapting and needing content, and I absolutely love doing these things as well, like just as much as I love music, because it's creative, it's expressive, and it's still all tied into the songs, which I really love. But then it somehow just took off, and I was so busy actually doing content for everybody that, I was going, weeks, months without any time to actually play and write myself.
Yeah. So that's hard, isn't it? Because you're still doing what you love, but at the same time, you do want to focus a bit of that on your. That's a hard thing, is when you've got so many talents and so many things that you actually really like.
I'm crazy.
Yeah. No, sleep's overrated.
It's absolutely.
No one really needs it. But I was actually thinking, like, when I was sort of, reading all your things from Jules and things like that, and I actually was thinking it must be hard to then do your own video or your own things, because I would imagine that if I was doing that for other people, I would have so many ideas that I would want to do that it'd actually make doing it hard. Just use
doing it
those.
harder.
Yeah.
Definitely, like physically it's difficult because I can't film myself, direct myself and act in it as well. So I'm going to have to get some help for some friends to do that one.
But I don't know if I remember to take the cap off the camera. All those things where I'd probably go wrong right from the beginning. But yeah,
Melanie actually took my all my press shots, which is pretty cool. She did a great job.
She did. You do have some great shots. That's really cool. You can work together. And
fun fact.
Does that make it hard sometimes working together as well as spending time, or because you love what you're doing? It's just
no, we get on like a house on fire. Yeah, just everything we do, we're both so creative, and we understand how to communicate with each other, which is the biggest thing. Like, we don't really get frustrated, except for sometimes Mel asks me to move a giant couch in a small room on my own and film, and sometimes that's not possible. But
but you're trying. That's all that matters.
I always try. I'm like, okay, like how about we try this?
Yeah, you're coming in with productive, not no, that just doesn't work.
Exactly right. Yeah. Red's not your color.
Exactly. I love that we're hearing you putting out new music and you doing both sides. I think that's really important because I often get messages from people and kids. She's popped another one for you. Absolutely, we'll go with that, definitely. No, I often get messages from people and kids, especially young kids, that watch artists and they want to know questions like, what do they recommend for me to do to get into it, or what part should I choose? But watching you've chosen all of it and it's working. So if people want to do it, they will, and they can do it. It's
absolutely. I was thinking about this the other day, and like, talent is 15% of the whole thing, and the rest of it is just hard work. You just have to work hard, and you've got to work 7 days a week, and you got to open your mind to possibilities and opportunities and take them and just run with it.
Absolutely. And I think it's interesting that you say that, because to get anywhere, it's not just take it, even the opportunities that you think are great, but even the ones that aren't the perfect ones, you need to just say yes and actually try it all, to, like, you have finding your sound, all that sort of thing. It's if you don't do it, don't push hard in this industry and keep going, you can't, it won't work. It's a round the clock job.
Absolutely. And like, you have just as many setbacks as wins as well, and you need to be able to take everything with a grain of salt, and just take it and say, okay, like, that didn't work out, or it wasn't exactly how I wanted, but there's always tomorrow, and you can always be better tomorrow.
Exactly. Kaz just asked, do you produce your own music?
Yes, I actually produced that song. I was the head producer with a co-producer, Reese Saka from Spinlight Studios.
Yes.
And we are also joint producers on Hudson Rose's 2 songs, Never See Me Cry and One More Kiss.
And again, that thing that comes to mind then is producing your own stuff to producing someone else's. Were you really hard on yourself, or you actually was like?
I'm a perfectionist, and I always just want to put my best foot forward, and that's been one thing that I've had to learn to let go and just acknowledge the fact that whatever I do today is the best that I can do today, and I will always push harder next time to be better. And this song, I had a good idea. The whole thing was built around the guitar riff and the bass line, and in the studio, that's how we started. We put down the bass line and we built the drums around it. And sitting down with Reese, he's such a great drummer and great producer as well. And it came together very quickly. We did pretty much the whole song in a day.
Oh my gosh, really?
The bulk of the song was done in a day, and then I was actually sick at the time, so I ended up doing vocals myself, which Melanie produced my vocals in our home studio here.
I actually read that you did the vocals from home, and I was going to ask you about that, because my initial thought when I read that was, it must have been during COVID, right? Because you couldn't get out, and then no, it wasn't. It was.
Yeah, it was literally the fact that I had zero voice on the day of recording, because I just did a heap of gigs the weekend before. And then we did it, and then we came home, and then it was Tamworth. So we were away for Tamworth playing Melanie shows, and then by the time we got back, it was probably 3 weeks after that. And then I'd sent the track away to get pedal steel. Jai Perry Banks, he's in Sydney, absolutely amazing. He nailed it first go. It was exactly what I wanted. And then
Sydney people have that much talent.
Oh, he's so good. He's such a legend. And then we recorded the B3 Hammond organ here in Port Macquarie. A friend of mine, Andy Blackmore, who I'd been playing with off and on over the years. He's from New Zealand and doesn't know Kaylee Bell, but he's a good bloke. And he
Interesting. You obviously get those questions too when you're talking to people. Such and such. And
yeah, well, everyone thinks that just because you're from New Zealand, you know everybody. It's not that small town.
Same with Australia, though. I interview artists, overseas quite a lot, and whether it be just to air on radio, whether it be something that I record and we release different times, and you get the same questions. Do you know such and such? And I'm thinking, how big is this country? Like, do people think we live in a little, like, I know Tasmania is small, but like,
you do run into people all over the world. Like I was in Pisa, in Europe, and stopping off. I had 20 minutes between trains. I thought I'd run down the street and go and see the tower, and someone called out my name, and it was two people from Port Macquarie who just happened to be also getting a coffee. And I think it was 3 years after that, I ended up photographing their wedding.
Oh my gosh. How crazy.
Yeah, just randomly.
Across the world, and you've met people from your small town.
From small town, yeah.
Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? I guess it's funny, these things that happen, but as much as the world isn't small, it is small enough that these things happen a lot. Kaz said those Banks brothers are bloody amazing.
They are.
Absolutely. And
there's a comment there about, have I worked with Jay Sini or Duncan Toombs?
Where's that one? Oh, hang on. That's up the page.
Kayleen,
yep.
I have worked with Jay. Worked with Jay. I was on the team who filmed James Johnston's show at the Trek Centre at Tamworth this year.
Yeah.
And Kaylee Bell.
For you. and Kaylee Bell as well. Yes. Tamworth would have been huge for you this year.
It was pretty big. Melanie had won her main headline show, and we did a fan zone spot, and then I was filming. I did probably 3. I filmed Fanny Lumsden's show at the Capitol Theatre as well, and that was great to be part of that one.
How beautiful is the Capitol Theatre?
I want to play there so much.
Yeah. I walked in and I'm like, wow, this is just incredible. It's just got a really great feeling to it. I know, as you were saying, getting onto those bigger stages and you adapted really quick to it. But given, like, you really must have loved it. But given that feeling, is there anywhere in particular that you really want to play? Because you obviously you love that sort of side. Have you got a bucket list? Because I think that whole, if I was singing, that place would be one of mine, because it's just stunning and it's got
definitely. Absolutely. Yeah, just some of those old theatres would be amazing. It'd be incredible to play some of the old Sydney venues.
Yes.
Can't think off the top of my head which ones, but
any of those old.
The Enmore.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Enmore would be amazing to play. But then just outdoor stages too, with the band, it's just so much energy, and it's so loud, and it's awesome.
Yeah. I agree with you that those old theatres. I don't know if it's just because you walk in there and you know that the history that the places had of music and people, and I don't know if that's part of that feel, but yeah.
It's just the scale, scale of them, and they're so beautiful. They've got coffered ceilings, and I used to work in architecture. I don't know if you knew that for 15 years, and so I really appreciate beautiful buildings. I can't go anywhere in the world without stopping and admiring or trying to figure out how they actually built them.
Yes, I know. I often do that. And I used recently, one of my jobs that I'm a nurse, but I was working in a building that it was an old, very, very old homestead from like first coming to Tasmania type thing. And I was looking at, I look at that sort of thing too, and I look at all the detail and think, how did they do that? Like now we've probably got machines and molds and all sorts of things, but how did they do that then? Like it's extremely, we don't do that detail anymore to places.
No, we don't. And if you do, it costs an insane amount of money. But there's trades out there that aren't actually capable of doing it now.
Wouldn't know how. And yet back then, without the technology and things, they figured it out and did it amazingly.
Yeah.
Kayleen said that she was actually at Fanny's show, the one that you filmed. And
cool.
I actually can only, my screen's being a bit funny. When I lived in Sydney, I was in, Matthew, and he lives, oh my gosh. And there's lots of people popping in. So if I've missed any important questions, please add them to me, send them to me again, because my screen is really not working. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, it's so lovely to have you on the show for the first time. Before we go, where can we find you? What are the best places? Because we was talking about Insta before. Is there a place that you probably are most active?
I'm definitely most active on Instagram.
Okay.
And I try and keep up on my Facebook as well. I'm trying to make sure my website's updated. Just www.jacksonjames.com.au.
I will put that one in the comments if I haven't. I think I may have already done that. Yeah. But head to the top of the comments, guys, when we finish, and hit all the links so that you can go straight there, because it is hard sometimes to find the artist real page on some platforms. So if you follow those links, it should take you to the correct ones. And Kayleen said you need to come to Melbourne sometime.
Come to Melbourne. We might be down there on August, September.
That's not far away.
No, nothing's far away.
No. I'll review your single on iTunes at Kaz.
Thanks, Kaz.
And when you do that, make sure you send us a link, Kaz. We want to be able to read it. Well, I hope you guys have an amazing time over there next week. Please send us all some photos and footages of what you're doing, because I really want to see Dollywood. If you could just,
I'll send you some photos.
Yes.
Hopefully Dolly will actually be there and we'll get a photo.
Wouldn't that be incredible? Have you met her before?
I have not. No, I ran into Will and Gunnar from Nashville, the TV series, after the CMA Awards one night in an alleyway, and I was a little starstruck. I don't usually get starstruck, but it was quite random, and they were so nice. They spoke with us for about 15 minutes and just asking all about Australia, and it'd be great to see them.
Had they been before? Had they been over here before?
I believe so.
Yeah.
They both said they absolutely love Australia. So
it's interesting, isn't it? That show was so popular, especially here in Australia and within the music industry. I just don't understand how it didn't keep going, because everyone you asked that watched it loved it. It was, I don't get why it stopped, but I don't know. Things are weird. But thank you so much for coming on. We'll make sure everybody that you go and follow. And if you haven't heard the recorded version of your latest song, go and have a listen, because it is fantastic. I still love acoustic. That's my favorite for everything, but you will love it. It's a great one. Add it to your playlist, whatever you do, add it and like it, or just click the heart button, whichever platform you're on. Make sure you add it to as much as you can. Thank you. I can't wait to hear how you go in Nashville and your next single.
Thank you.
I'm sure will come pretty quickly, because this year's already half gone. So.
I know. That's why I'm only focusing on, one more single this year.
Yeah.
And then just how much time it takes and to do it all properly, and make sure that Jules Jules, my publicist, is available, and she's incredible.
She is. And you can't beat her. And you do have to plan so far ahead in the music industry at the moment, whether it be video, song release, whatever. Like, it's just getting busier and busier, so you do have to plan a long way ahead. But
absolutely.
And I'm guessing that means Tamworth will definitely have some shows for you.
I would say so.
Excellent. I booked mine already, everything, because.
Oh, you're on.
I learnt the hard way, because last year I was like, what if I don't get there, and I couldn't book the accommodation? I should have just done it, because I was never not going to go, really, when I thought about it.
I know everyone does that. They wait all year and they're like, I'm not sure if I'm going to go, and then last minute they're like, we're going.
We're definitely going. Yeah, you can't.
We're sleeping in the car.
if you miss it and you're watching everybody, it's just heartbreaking when you think, why didn't I go? So you've just got to get in the car and do it. But thank you. It's been absolutely lovely having you on the show, and I really can't wait to hear your next single.
Thank you very much. Can't wait to chat with you again.
Any time. It's been fun. I'd like to do it in person one day. That'd be really good.
You let me know and I'll be there.
Done. You need to come to Tassie, you guys. Come down and do some shows.
Sounds good.
That sounds like fun. But no, thank you everybody for watching. Tomorrow night we have 2 shows for you. So go and have a look on the page. The ads should be up. We've got Natalie Pearson and Sons of Atticus. There is potentially another one coming because I was asked to do it last minute. So wait and see. We have to just confirm the times, but I'll let you know as soon as it's confirmed. But thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See you guys.